So you have a book for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's called The Fountainhead. Weird title. Keep going. Well, I was going to entitle it The Mainstream, but someone else got that one. Not sure that would be any better. Anyway, what's the novel about? It's about how people should think for themselves without accepting what influential people in the mainstream say is true. Not sure I like that idea. Do you have a PhD in sociology or philosophy or political theory? Well, I didn't graduate college, but one of my screenplays almost got made into a movie. Whoa, you must really know your stuff. That sounds like a great thesis. All my philosophical thoughts, theories, and ideas, they're changing as we speak. So how does your novel convince other people to do the same? Through our hero, Art Vandelay. He's a brilliant pseudo-architect with brilliant ideas who doesn't care what anyone else thinks. Sounds like he could carry an entire novel. But go with a name like Howard Rourke. Art Vandelay sounds fake. Actually, there are other characters like his classmate Peter Keating. Everyone likes him, and he follows his clients' instructions, and he actually cares about other people. Sounds like a really good guy. No, he's terrible. He doesn't even have his own ideas. To become really successful, he has to borrow Rourke's designs. And did you hear me say that he's actually sympathetic to people? Oh, I see now. I definitely don't like him. And the other man is Gail Wynard. He's a newspaper magnate, a complete jerk. He ruins other people's lives just for fun. Ugh, I hate him. He sounds like that guy from Citizen Kane. Who knew Rosebud was his sled? Dude, spoiler alert. I haven't seen it yet. Thanks a lot. Sorry, it's not that great a movie. Anyway, if he's anything like that thin guy playing Kane, he's probably a tyrant. Yeah, he pretty much sucks, but what he's saying is kind of fantastic. He says if you appreciate true love and beauty, you can get away with anything, like shooting a man on Fifth Avenue in broad daylight. Excellent. Does he actually murder someone on Fifth Avenue? No, he doesn't shoot anyone. He's just a bastard. Well then, the book needs more spice. Well, the spice comes in the form of Dominique Francois. She's the love interest of all three characters. How does that play out? Well, first she's raped by Rourke. The hero? But it's implied it's consensual. I mean, she was basically asking for it by inviting Rourke to her house. Women aren't going to have a problem with it. I don't think that's accurate, but since you say it's okay, I agree with you. Then she steals Keating away from his fiancée the night before his wedding. Then she divorces Keating and marries Wynard. It's cool, because Wynard loves Rourke, and they basically all live together. Oh, it's a threesome thing. Pretty kinky. Don't be a perv. Okay, how does the relationship work out then? Well, actually, they don't stay together all the time. In fact, Rourke and Wynard go for a cruise alone together for 2 months in the South Pacific on Wynard's yacht. Oh, so both men are bisexual. That's okay. People are more open-minded these days. It's not the turn of the century anymore. No, you're such a perv. It's just 2 men sleeping together for 2 months in the South Pacific while the woman they love is back in New York. You're right. Homosexuality is an abomination. So how does this play out in your action thriller? Well, Rourke's designing these crazy awesome buildings. I mean, they are genius. So obviously he's a success. No, he goes through hell for about 15 years because he won't listen to people who are trying to help him. He listens to no one. Well, he does listen to one guy, Henry Cameron, but Cameron gets sick and is sent to New Jersey. Whoa, New Jersey? Harsh. And Rourke can't keep a job because he keeps telling people to fuck off, so he ends up working in a rock quarry. Yeah, well, I guess that's slightly better than living in New Jersey. Meanwhile, Keating is pleasing people and ends up the head of his own architectural firm. Sounds like Keating understands. Sometimes you gotta follow what other people say to get ahead in the cutthroat business world. No, you're missing the point. You should stick with your own convictions and not care what anyone else says. That's how you succeed in business. Wow, you've completely changed my mind on how capitalism works. So, after initial success that lasts about 15 years and carries over 600 pages, Keating's career is just about done, and Rourke is finally considered New York's finest architect. 600 pages? Oh, a lot must have happened. Not really. But Keating wants to give it one last shot, so he seeks the commission for a housing project for deserving families. With his people-pleasing persona, he must be finished in the business world. So how does Keating make that happen? Well, Keating gets Rourke to design it for him. Just like that? Well, it seems like Rourke would hate someone like Keating who cares about other people. Well, Rourke has one condition. The housing must be built exactly as he designed it, with no changes. Doesn't sound like a good idea. If Keating's a people pleaser, he's going to listen to other people, and the whole thing's just going to blow up in his face. Exactly. And other architects get involved and change Rourke's plan. They add a gymnasium, and Rourke, when he sees it... Oh, did I mention they also add balconies and take away closet doors? Holy shit, you can't close a closet without doors. This is a direct assault on individual liberty. Precisely, so Rourke blows it up. The only reasonable course of action. And remember Dominique, the one that Rourke raped? Well, she pretends to run out of gas in front of the project to lure the night watchman out so he won't get hurt when Rourke explodes the building. Then after the explosion, she picks up the shards of glass and slashes herself almost to death. That will show society. And that's the end. Almost. But there has to be a trial to proclaim Rourke's innocence. Really? A trial? I mean, it's obvious that blowing up a building is self-defense. He should be given a medal. Of course, but I need the trial to add some more pages to the book. It's kind of short. So how's the trial go? Rourke pleads not guilty, doesn't question any witnesses, and doesn't provide any evidence. Makes perfect sense. There's nothing to be done. He's not guilty. But he gives a big speech about how the individual is always killed or persecuted whenever he comes up with new ideas by the masses. So he's going to give this speech. He's going to repeat it every paragraph for about 10 pages, just so I can pad the book a bit. Probably not necessary. It's going to be a great rant. I mean speech. By the way, did you know the guy who invented the wheel was torn to pieces on the rack? Not sure if that's true. Does Rourke say that? Yeah. Why don't you have the judge unilaterally decree that Rourke's plea has been changed to not guilty by reason of insanity? Okay, if you think it's a more realistic way to have Rourke found not guilty, sometimes it's a good idea not to think for myself. It's sort of hard for me to figure out when those times are, though. This is one of those times. Well, you are a publisher, so I trust your jurisprudential knowledge unconditionally. So that's about it. What do you think? Since you say it's good and you're so well respected in the literary field, it must be awesome. Maybe it'll even be better than the Gallant Gallstone.